Alright, MrSotko here, and welcome back to another Starcraft 2 replay cast. Today it is a 1 vs 1 on Frost LE between two clan members. One, the orange Zerg player, TheZergLord, and the pinkish Terran player, Swat. And we're going to speed this up to the 8x mark, to the 2-minute point of the game, and everything starts to get pretty good. Zerg versus Terran, directly across from each other here. And making the command center inside the base there. Barracks coming up as well. A second one, a fairly early second barracks, and a early third barracks as well. And the Overlord here coming straight across the way, going to spot his opponent quickly, but that's going to give away the location of the Zerg as well. And it's going to fly right into that Marine, and he's going to know that Overlord came from that direction, as the southern direction has nothing right now for the ZergLord. And not seeing a base coming up there. Building the command center inside the base for safety there. Coming up with 2 refineries as well. And a Marine spots the Overlord. Overlord bails, turns the other way. And we'll have a little bit of lead inside of it, but it regenerates. It'll just spit the lead out. Who knows? Maybe it just sort of incorporates the lead into its body. And the ZergLord producing some Zerglings here. Hatchery up. Nothing too crazy just yet for the Zerg. A second expansion on the way. And now the command center here moving on in. Did not make an orbital command first. Just somewhat unusual, as you get the orbital command and then you'll gain energy as you're moving over there. And you can drop your mule right away and have extra energy right off the bat. And now the tech lab up for Swat, and the stim on the way. Marines in the front there defending. And now here comes the orbital command, but again, a little bit late. Orbital command first, then pick it up, then drop it. Really the better way to go. And second expansion nearly up here. Queen walking all the way around, real slow like. Tumors moving on out. Overlord moving into the base again. Gonna spot everything going on. And gonna see a couple reactors. Knows it's gonna be a lot of bio here. And factory on the way as well. And triple Marines here will finish off this Overlord. But the Overlord's job will be complete. You will have seen everything there is to see for the most part. And another Rax going down in the front here. Maynarding some drones on over, saturating the second expansion. And still trying to open up those rocks with a few Zerglings. And surely there are better ways to take out rocks than to just have Zerglings bite at them or claw at them or whatever they do. Maybe an Ultralisk would move those out of the way a little bit better. Just tie a rope around an Ultralisk and have them pull the rocks out individually. However, the Terran going to keep his rocks as he wants the Zerg to pile up. Zerg wants to be able to flank around anywhere it can. Terran want that choke. And interestingly enough, no engineering bays or upgrades just yet. And reactor now switching up here. Start blasting out some medevacs soon over that starport. And no additional Vespine on the expansion either. Swat now moving out towards the ZergLord. Tons of Zerglings out on the field here and making a Baneling. Just a single Baneling, just needs one. Ah, there we go. There's some more. And Overseer here takes some damage. But not going to finish off that Overseer very quickly there. Banelings, cocoons, gets taken out. And looks like he actually canceled those before they were finished off. And Marines in the middle of it all and get completely surrounded. A couple Banelings finish off the deal there. And now the Rax producing even more reactors, even more Marines, because when you have a problem in StarCraft, the solution sometimes more often than not, as more Marines. And now the extractors are coming up for the Zerg there and starting to produce some more. Drone's going to get that fully saturated, bringing some on over from the other ones. And we'll be oversaturated a little bit here until those extractors come up. And then getting that gas. Overlord trying to stall the expansion there with some creep, but not going to last too long. And is there another command center coming or not? There is not in the production tab. A Liberator is on the way. And Widow Mines as well. Now level 1 infantry upgrades. Just one engineering bay. And just one armor for the Zerg. Now the melee attacks level 1 is coming soon. And now he has triple hatcheries. Production should be coming here soon. A macro hatch on the way. And Spire on the way as well. Some Mutalisks will be showing up shortly. And always a big fan of the macro hatch. And a third expansion on the way as well. And runs a little bit too deep in there. And gets all of his Marines taken out by Banelings there. And Swat going to be flying away as fast as possible here. The Liberator just in the air, unable to do anything, and has to watch the Zerglings run under the medevacs. And a depot has been made right in front of the mineral field. Very interesting choice. And I think Swat is Masters, and I think the ZergLord is Grandmaster. So a slight difference in terms of leaderboard rank, but both of them in the same clan, so perhaps just trying out new strategies, perhaps just checking it out, playing casually, that sort of thing. Not very competitive game. But either way, the ZergLord is an amazing player, and any game with him is always a good game. And so far, Swat keeping up to some degree, probably better than most. And that third expansion now going strong here. Drones moving on out into that. And it doesn't really have to saturate that too much, as most of the minerals here are going to be gone shortly. We'll just end up transferring them over. Just transfer over a good chunk of drones there. And just making one extractor for now. And now all the Mutalisks here are slowly pouring out. 5 Mutalisks in production and a whole bunch already out on the field here. Liberators useful in taking out Mutalisks, but gonna need more than that. Looks like you're just gonna use that for the defensive position. And gets insta-gibbed as well, but he loads up all of his medevacs, but it just wasn't enough medevacs to get all of the Marines out of there, so some of them had to die. Mutalisks pushing forward, takes out all kinds of stuff there, and the Mutalisk count growing and growing. And now level 2 armor, level 1, or level 2 attacks on the way, level 1 armor nearly complete for the Terran, so producing upgrades much slower than his opponent, and needs to double engineering bay, and to expand again as well. Has not expanded a second time this whole time here. Could be going down there and making another command center in his base, and then just sort of floating it on over there, as his main here is nearly mined out. And the ZergLord is not quite mined out at all. He is still going strong. Extractor here coming up. And an unbelievable amount of creep tumors here produced. Marines spot the Mutalisks there. That looks like they may have taken one out, or at least did some damage there. And get the Zelnaga tower there, sees everything that was going on. And the creep is getting a little bit out of control. So many creep tumors right there. And now loads up his medevacs, and looks like he's going to be going down to the expansion here, perhaps, and dropping. No, going to be going back to the Marines. And if you just don't harass the Zerg, then the Zerg gets out of control, and that's why everybody harasses and drops all over Zerg whenever they can. Because if you let the Zerg expand too many times, they're just simply out of control here. Now lowering those Marines out of the medevacs and defending, but no way out of this one here. All the Mutalisks take out all the medevacs, and the Marines all get soaked up. And I think the ZergLord is playing a little bit mercifully here for his ally in StarCraft 2. And expansion going up, and is now complete. And a second expansion on the way here as well, so needs to transfer all over there, and has a lot of SCVs here to transfer, but I think it was too little too late. It's going to definitely help him out and give him a ton of new income, especially with the 2 new orbital commands on the way as well, and all of the additional energy they would be producing, additional mules and such. But I think it's just a little bit too late. I don't think he has enough production for the amount of expansions he has. He needs maybe 2-3 more barracks with reactors to be pumping out Marines, and could use some Marauders too, just for the simple fact of soaking up all of those Baneling hits. And some mines out in the field here, and covering a wide girth. And here come the creep tumors here, pushing forward. Zerglings spot the new expansion, and they definitely know about this expansion as well. Mine takes out some of those Mutalisks there. It's a good portion of them, and definitely needs some missile turrets at all of his expansions. There's so many Zerglings out in the field, and now the worst thing out in the field now is the Ultralisks. And Ultralisk and Cluster Zerg here moving to the top. The top orbital command is totally screwed. Not even worth lifting that up. So not quite the highest level replay ever designed, but certainly something to learn from every replay on how and what not to do and what to do. So this is definitely one of those replays of how not to play as Terran, and it definitely took way too long to expand and did not drop on the Zerg enough. You needed to be bringing drops down into the main, into all the expansions constantly, because you constantly need to drop on Zerg. Otherwise, they're just free to drone up, and look, he's free to expand over here as well. And when the Zerg have more and more hatcheries, the more and more hatcheries you let them have, the more production possibility they have. And he expanded way too late. He double expanded. I kind of like that, but I think it's a little bit too much to invest a double expansion like that. And he should have just did it one at a time. Should have done it way earlier. Double engineering bays would have helped as well to get those upgrades a little bit higher. And he needs to micro away from those banelings just a little bit better. But I hope you guys enjoyed the replay, and I will see you guys next time.